Everything you should know about ours. Hosts. The game has 8 normal hosts and 7 secret ones. I will only be talking about the normal ones here. Anyways, the first one you unlock is the Invader, whose abilities are a slash that does 8 damage, a spin slash that spins and does 4 hits that deal 4 damage each, a dash slash that dashes forward and does 24 damage, and Empowered that increases damage and adds lifesteal. The second one you unlock is the Prophet, whose abilities are a stab that does 20 damage, a heavy strike that does 100 damage, 2 dashes from ability, and regeneration that heals you for 3 health per regeneration charge. The third host is the Witness, whose abilities are a bash that deals 16 damage, a kick that deals 10 damage and stuns, a shield that adds 25 HP for 4 seconds, and a smite that does 40 damage and stuns. The fourth host is the Aristan, whose abilities are a slash that does 12 damage, a parry that blocks attacks, a turret that does 3 damage per shot, and a barrage that shoots 20 bullets that deal 3 damage each. The fifth host is the Vestige, whose abilities are a blast that does 8 damage per hit, a snipe that fires exploding attack, a backflip for movement and dodging, and a slam that deals 32 damage plus stunned. The sixth host is the Visitor, whose abilities are a drill that does 8 hits that do 3 damage each, a beam that does 4 damage for 16 hits, a burrow that moves you to where your mouse is and it does a damage if it's under an enemy, and the Skewer that does 20 damage and stuns the enemy in place. The seventh host is the Subject, whose abilities are a strike that does 14 damage, a blink that teleports you a short distance, the brew that brews a potion, the random brew that brews a random potion, and the consume that consumes the potion. The eighth host is the Porting, whose abilities are a punch that does 5 damage, the pummel that hits 10 times for 3 damage each and stuns the enemy, a leap that jumps into the air, and the easy lever that changes every ability. Punch turns into uppercut that does 30 damage, the plumber turns into punch that does 20 damage, and leap turns into smash that does 25 damage. And by the way, every character has different upgrades. Tempo! The game has 20 normal and 12 secret tempos, but for 10 of the normal ones you need a game pass. Bit cringe, isn't it, buff? I'm only going to be talking about the non-secret ones that you don't need a game pass to get. The first tempo you unlock is the Halt that stops time for 5 seconds and has a 20-second cooldown. The second tempo you unlock is the Star that stops time for 2 seconds but has an 8-second cooldown. The third tempo you unlock is the Omit that lets you skip time for 10 seconds but has a 10-second cooldown. The fourth one you unlock is Zero. It resets all ability cooldowns but itself has a 15-second cooldown. The fifth one you unlock is Undo that goes 3 seconds back in time with a 9-second cooldown. The sixth one you unlock is Gate. It goes back 5 seconds with a 15-second cooldown. The seventh one you unlock is Rush that quadruples the speed of time for you for a second but has a 10-second cooldown. The eighth one you unlock is Join that doubles the speed of time for 20 seconds but has a 40-second cooldown. The ninth one is Swap. It swaps between 2 versions of you from different timelines. Of course, very simple. The 10th one is Third that lets you clone yourself from another timeline for 15 seconds because it's just so simple to understand. You just have to skill issue if you can't understand it, honestly. Stage might. The first real stage in the game are the Peacock Peaks. The enemies in the Peacock Peaks are Arson, Agony, Hot Rash, Hurricane Gale, Seventh Blossom, Shattered Ice, Sidearm Stubs, Toxic Teapot, Unlimited Blade, Wingless Angel, and Wraithwalker. The boss in the Peacock Peaks is Equinox. The second stage in the game are the Downcast Days. The enemies in there are Astral Hermit, Captain Ivory, Circuit Breaker, Dark Ages, Emerald Lancer, Nightmare Catcher, Scarlet Knight, Splintered Archer, Void Watcher, and the Starlight Duke. The boss in the Downcast Days is Bloxerman. The third area in the game is Mirai Mirror. The enemies in there are Anti-Mother, Cerbrum Colossus, Cluebliner, Drowned Deep, Fallen Dread, Friend Rider, Half Horse, Laughing Head, Nerve Healer, and War Eated. The boss in the Mirai Mirror is Ronnie Alpha. And epic video. Goodbye. The reason why I didn't upload for a long time is I forgot.